Okay, brilliant. So welcome everyone. I'm Katherine Longhi, the Director of Communication here at GIFU, the Global Institute for Evolving Women, and I'm really delighted to be interviewing Vic Maraj of Unstoppable Conversations. Vic is the founder and CEO of Unstoppables, which is an organization that empowers organizations to fulfill on what's important to them and the world. He's also a mentor at GIFU, so he has a soft spot in our hearts from us. And who you are for me, Vic, knowing each other over the last couple of years, is for me, you are Katniss of the Hunger Games. You have this transformational bow and arrow that just allows you to hone in on a situation or a person and just send this really intentional arrow right to where the problem is, which releases everything there is to clear up about that and produces amazing results. So that's who you are for me, and I would love you to share with everyone watching, like, who you know yourself as.
Okay, good. Well, I like Katniss. Who I am, well, I'll tell you, one of the things, I've done enough work to really be okay with being ordinary. So, and that's not the right way, that's not the perfect place to begin. I need to tell you how brilliant I am. But I think one thing that I've come to grips with is my ordinariness ain't going anywhere. And one of the ways I found arrogant, you don't recognize it, how dare you? And I'm kind of over the years, hey, that conversation really isn't going anywhere. Isn't that interesting? So I think in making peace with that, it's given me a lot of freedom to just be and have a lot of work. They don't have my conversation. They have some conversation they wound up with. They're not enough, or they don't belong, or anyway. I know that's not the perfect introduction, Catherine, but I've gotten used to questions because really my commitment is that people stop trying to fix themselves and get on the difference that they or the vision they have for their life, and stop wasting time on trying to disappear something that is not going to. So that's a way I've introduced myself that I never have. I hope it works.
Yeah. Well, I think it's extraordinary to be present to your ordinary and like be okay with that. And and be a lifelong inquiry, what it is to be ordinary. I think that's extraordinary. So thank you for sharing. And tell us a little bit more about Unstoppable Conversations, like what you've created as a business and as a vehicle for transformation in the world.
Unstoppable is a really small consulting firm that we let's see, what's our deal? We have a unique method that I guess the word is disrupts. So we're in the disruption game, and a very strange game to play because everybody that I know in the big consulting firms are in the continuity game. How do we extend where our organization is going? Of course, getting bigger and better and like that. And so nothing wrong with that. That's the continuity game. So we're in the discontinuity or disruption game, in that we're out to have companies, organizations, not-for-profits, governments, cause breakthroughs. Breakthrough is I'm not satisfied with we're on the future we're headed towards. So if we keep doing more of the same thing, we're going to head towards where we all don't see we want to go, or where we want to go is fine, but it's limited. And we need a breakthrough. But how are you going to cause a breakthrough with the same thinking that got you where you are? You need the thinking. So we have a very distinct method that causes a breakthrough. And it's a breakthrough in thinking. It's a breakthrough in how we hold the problem. And the organizations we work with they do have a massive shift in innovation, profitability, results. And so we're the bad boys and women, girls. Keep it safe.
I like how you said boys and women. Yeah.
I think for my firm it is actually like that. There's a couple boys, and there's, thank God, there's some women. So, but yeah, you know, when you're doing that kind of thing, it's kind of a little like playing with fire, because no human being wants to cause for themselves a real intentional disruption in their lifestyle, in their comfort. But you know, if you look at the logic, it's inescapable. Yeah. If we don't, what's the point? I mean, it's just more of the same, and dressed up a little bit. And Jack Welch of General Electric said it really beautifully a couple decades ago. He said, so we're that which empowers that change before you have to. And in many cases, organizations, it really have, but a lot of time denied.
Yeah. And I've seen on your website that you describe your work as phenomenological and ontological. And that's, I had to Google that quite a bit. And I have to say, even Googling it a little bit, what is that? What can people, like, because it's not, you know, ordinary, it's not comfortable to go through a breakthrough process. Like, how do people experience it? Like, how do you bring the phenomenological and ontological to it?
Yeah. Well, so that you Googled it, okay? That you went to Google. So let me add one more stupid word, and then we'll get to ontological, phenomenological. That you Googled it. Google is part of the epistemological model. Okay? So the epistemological model is what's on the planet right now. And the epistemological model is what you, anybody looking or listening to this, and probably participate. I'm going to go beyond probably. I'm going to be at risk a little bit. For sure, everybody listening to the call participates in the epistemological model, which is a fancy word for knowledge. Okay, the acquisition of knowledge, the study of knowledge, the mastery of learning through knowledge. So learning for us human beings equals acquiring knowledge. So before I tell you what ontological phenomenological is, I want to tell you what the current flavor of the day of learning is. It's epistemological, which means that knowledge is power. If I'm not effective, clearly I mustn't have enough knowledge or the right knowledge. Next year, next course, next book, next TED Talk, next piece of advice, I will surely get the missing knowledge. Because in the human paradigm, it is knowledge that's the source of power.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So I'm hearing that knowledge, it's like what you're putting in your head. Epistemological is trying to put stuff in here.
Yeah, and if I just can remember it, so clearly I mustn't have the right knowledge, and I mustn't be good at remembering it. Because if I remembered it, I would use it in this conflict with this person right now. I would use it in trying to influence this person to become part of my vision. Clearly, I don't know how to talk good. So, you know, if I do, I can't remember exactly point number 5 or the 7th habit or something in the currently over 57,000 books on leadership right now, by the way, on Amazon, or 1,200 books published last year, or the 15,000 books on leadership in print, or the 4 books a day coming out on leadership. So we mustn't have enough knowledge. We need one more book. Arguably, some would say that start making much of a difference. And if I was really being bad about it, I would say the terrible state of leadership in the world right now, the function of many leaders. I think it's first correlation. So So the point of phenomenology ontology. So all that is to say that in our work we say that knowledge is not only ineffective at making a difference in what people really care about. It, in fact, is a constraint. In fact, I would argue that what people already know limits their willingness to discover what's really possible in leadership, in teams, in influence, in realizing the grandeur of their vision. What they already know and what they already think they can and can't do is absolutely prison. So the breakthrough is in letting go of what they know, and in many cases hold a sacred of truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't tell you about that. So ontology is not about knowledge. Ontology, the word ontology is the study or the nature of the way something exists. So we're not interested in what you think. We're interested in the way something exists for you. See, if I ask you and everybody out there the question, and it's put up 5 do you think you're a woman?
I think so.
No. You don't think you're a woman. Just look. See, when I ask you, do you think it's going to rain tomorrow? Do you think?
I live in London, so probably.
Okay, good. But you really do think that. But are you 100% certain?
No.
Okay. See, it's at the level of thinking. If you think so, you're like, I live in London. I think so. Okay. Now, going back to the woman question, do you think you're a woman?
According to what I know about being a woman, I think I'm a woman.
I offer you this. You don't think you're a woman. Who you are for yourself, you are a woman for you.
Yeah. Like for me, it's like a fact. Like that's just what is.
That's just what it is. You are a woman. You don't think you're a woman. That'd be crazy. You think it's going to rain, but you are a woman. You get that? See,
Yeah.
Anything that exists for you as is has an incredible weight in your life. See, that for you is immovable. If I say to you, hey, Katherine, you're a man, ha ha ha, you're a man, or you're a puppy, or you're a tree, you would be impregnable. You'd be like, interesting conversation. Are you on your meds? Or
and I definitely be like a man sometimes.
But who you are is a woman being like a man. But
yeah.
that never for you that you are a woman for yourself. So ontology is, see, and you don't see anything that hits that level constrains you and limits you when you are something. When you think something, you could hear the movement, the fluidity in thinking. Oh, I can think this, I can think that. I'm willing, see? But you're not willing to be called off the fact you're a woman. You're not going to get called off that, okay? Now, here's the funny thing why I'm bringing that up. It's that you don't think you're angry. You don't feel you're angry. You are angry when you're angry. I am mad. I am jealous. I am disappointed. So
yeah, and certainly in the moment, it's like a fact for me. Yeah.
So is in our work, people don't see they exist as something. They don't think something. They exist as it. And because they can't see they actually exist as it, they can't understand why they're so fixed and movable. And really what they're fixed as is something that they elevate to thinking or a notion or a view. They got a lot of room in life in their leadership to explore it. But they can't because they are X. So that's ontology, and phenomenology is what you and I did right now. Live, right now. I asked you a live question. You looked live, not conceptually.
Yeah.
And in the examination, you and I were able to engage in a very kind of as-lived story together.
Yeah.
Not conceptual, not like, hey, let me get serious. Hey, why don't you tell me what you're thinking right now? So,
Yeah. Got it. So I'd like to go a little bit deeper. You've used the word breakthrough a few times, and you have created a brand new or an evolved course for leaders called Breakthrough. And I just want to go a little bit deeper, into that distinction. Why create something around that, and how does it serve as a catalyst for transformation?
yeah. Well, the question is, when people use the word transformation, what are they talking about? What's transforming? There's a digital transformation, which means we're taking analog paperwork into some digital artificial way of work. Well, that would be, so the question, what are we transforming? Oh, okay. Well, when it comes to human being, so, yeah. What are you going to say?
Well, for me, it's like taking something in one state and transforming it into another state where it's like unrecognizable. Caterpillar to butterfly, or water to ice, where something's completely unrecognizable from like what it was, and there was a process that it went through to become that new being or entity.
Yeah, good, very good. Yeah, it's like that. What are we transforming? The caterpillar to butterfly works, but the water to ice wouldn't be transformation. It would be a kind of a reorganization, but see, it's fundamentally the same. It just looks different.
Yeah.
A butterfly, and look, and I don't want to. That could be a transformation. So the question is, for what is for human beings a transformation? And for us, we're always dealing with a transformation in their way of being. So what is it? Wound up being their way. So our work deals with people who would participate in breakthrough work. They would have a commitment to breaking through certain fixed ways of being and ways of viewing themselves, problems, the world, the issue. And I like how you said a state change. It would move from one state of existing and viewing the problem to another state. So Einstein, I think, I'm going to butcher it, but he said, and I'm paraphrasing, you can't solve a problem at the same level from which it was created. But what's this level business that created it? Well, the level is the way we approached it, who we are about it, all our inherited views and thinking and societal norms and what's come before us, and everybody's good life, everybody's agreement. It constrains my vision to that. What if I could break through that? Break through it, not make it wrong. It got us where we got to. But unless we break through it, nothing more is truly possible unless, except extending incrementally, getting better, doing more of what we already know. And I'm a recovering scientist, Catherine, so and I do really mean recovering. So every significant scientific advancement, significant, has been a breakthrough in the paradigm scientists had about any given phenomenon. They broke through it. Whether they wanted to or not, by the way. Whether they wanted to or not, most of the breakthroughs in our field have been accidental. Penicillin was never wanted. But it's too bad. Up in the air, lands on food, becomes fuzzy, moldy, yucky thing. And if you centrifuge it and stick it in your mouth, you'll feel better. That thinking was never possible. It was a breakthrough that was possible. Nobody wanted to know that.
Yeah.
The question is, how do you engineer a breakthrough rather than wait for the accidental moments in life where I will have it anyway, whether I or not. So our organization specializes in capturing that genius, bottling it, delivering it to organizations and people so they can deliberately engineer a breakthrough and know where they're going to land on the other side.
Yeah, amazing. And I want to shift now to talking about this online leadership course that you're putting on online for the first time. And I just want to read your promise, because every time I look at this, I just like, it just resonates so much with me. So the course is called Breakthrough, a transformational leadership course. And your promise is, so I'm speaking you to those of you watching, because you're all leaders watching, you will leave this course having accomplished extraordinary results in a project that fully expresses your commitment to the world. And in the process, you will become someone bigger than you ever knew yourself to be. Unrecognizable, transformed, that butterfly. That's the promise that you put out there. Like, tell us a little bit more about, the journey and what participants could expect going on that journey.
Yeah, well, thanks. I mean, that journey is a journey of, the program is designed to have you look at you. You and I are designed to look anywhere but ourselves for why our results. And to go back to the beginning of the call, until I came to grips with my ordinary conversations about how limited I am, how not good enough I am, how they won't listen, not as grand as somebody else, all that kind of smallness was just the way it was for me as a person. And, my only job is I can't affect any real change. I'll leave it to the pros, who themselves with the 57,000 books they don't seem to be making much of a difference either. But I'm sure they make more of a difference than me. And what I realized, that's absurd, that everybody's dealing with, there's some sense of limitation, some sense of inadequacy, some sense of scarcity in who they are and what's actually possible. Got like the humanity of it all that people deal with when they want to make our program. You guys know this. You have the same. Just the world is unstoppable. That's why we're partners. But just look at that over and over. People are either don't think they can do it, or they're not worthy enough for where they're at. That's just garbage. And so in our program, what we do is we take ordinary people like me, like you, like the rest of the planet, and have them discover that they have imposed that limitation. And it's painless, powerful, and enlightening. I like how you said that. It is a journey, but it's not like it's discovery. It's like when you're children. No child was scared of what's new. That's why they get up so early and then they don't want to go to bed, is because they can't wait to see what's new. And as an adult, we've kind of lost that, and now we know everything. We know our spouses, we know our partners, we know ourselves, we know the economy, we know the world. Well, what if that's not true? What if that's the prism of knowledge? What if you broke through what you hold as true? You'd kind of rediscover the enlivenment of a child, but with the wisdom of an adult, and really begin to gain and grow like you were when you were a child. So that's the breakthrough in being free to not know and engage in an exploration once again.
Yeah, brilliant. And what are some of the success stories? Like, what have some of your ordinary people / leaders, because we're all ordinary and we're all leaders, what kind of results have previous participants produced? What are what touches your heart?
Well, all of it touches my heart. I mean, but all of the people we work with, is they're, you know, at the same time, let me say this, Catherine, you know, our program is not for people, and I will say this, we're not willing to look and have the courage to acknowledge to themselves when they set up all the arrogance and all the knowingness, you know, that person all the time. It takes a courage. The people who participate in the program would have openness, courage, and why I moved is because our programs have that, and they develop a willingness to really look. You know, so I'll give you, you know, I can give you thousands of examples. I'll give you one, Norman. Norman participated in this work a couple years ago. And where I live in Canada, as most of the world, there are somewhere somebody colonized something. Okay, somewhere there were some people, and then there were other people that came, and then those other people at some level changed the rules of the game. Okay? In Canada, our Aboriginal population were those people. And, you know, and then they weren't the originals. There were some people before them. What we did to them now. And then, you know, Norma, with the Aboriginal population in Canada, Aboriginal people, one of the results of the colonization was that Aboriginal people in Canada were, you know, you could say they were invalidated for their way of being, their way of life. And Norman, you know, one of those things is called residential school. And with residential schools, a lot of young Aboriginal people were put in schools, stripped of their language, and stripped of their culture at a very young age, really dominated and told what to do. And more things were worse: abuse, sexual abuse, verbal, emotional abuse. It happened around the world, in Europe, in Slovakia, in Europe, it's the Gypsies, in Australia, it's Aborigines, you know, in the States and Canada, it's the Aboriginal people of North America. So why am I telling you that? Because Norman grew up in that kind of environment. And as a consequence, how he survived as a human being was to create ways of being that kept him apart, kept him alive, kept him untrusting, kept him independent. Because the way he wound up to be dependent on any big person was foolish. And in the program, he discovered that as a young, the First Nations he belongs to in Canada is called the Dene First Nation. He discovered that on day in the program, you know, the break program. He stood up in front of discovered I hate you. I discovered with women in these I hate people. And I particularly hate white people. And I really discovered I'm no different in my hate. I have hate. And I've held you as hateful, but I hate you. He got up, declared it, started to cry, and he said, it's been lifting my the breakthrough result is he went from a citizen of the Dene Nation to now the 75,000 Dene in Canada is making a profound difference. So I mean, I don't know a more profound result. He's now on the National Council of all the First Nations. Methodology that's going to make for a whole nation. So anyway, I go on.
Thank you. Thank you. So you have been so generous with your time, and I would invite all of the leaders and ordinary people, like if you want to produce the kind of results Norman did, like, wow, I invite you to make an application to this Breakthrough Leadership Program. And we'll share the links and exactly all the information on how to do that. So thank you, Vic, for who you are in the world and the work you do. I love spending time with you, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, Catherine. Thanks, everybody.
Take care.
Okay.
Bye.